which is a simulation software, because how you gonna lab everything, your CCNP, your CCNA, and any other thing. So there are two best simulation software which you can use to do your practice and your lab. One of them is GNS3, but I will not recommend this one. Graphical Network Simulator 3, this is the abbreviation. Okay, I will provide you each and everything: switches, images, router, firewall, IPS, IDS, and I will show you now as well. There are more than 200 GB images. So it was released in 2008. Okay, and for many years people use this GNS3, Graphical Network Simulator. But this application, this simulation software is mother of trouble, this one, GNS3. Even though I'm using since long time and I'm used to with this application, but I want to switch over so that the student can also switch over to the Eve, which we're gonna discuss a bit later. It's a free application you can download, and a huge community make this application, GNS3. It's an open source application. You can download and you can install any application, any router, switches, any vendor. They can support switches, Docker, and Cisco SS, Cisco V5, any, I believe they support anything. You can download from here. If you want to install, you need a Windows 7, 8, 10 or whatever Windows Server, any of these. Even on Linux and Mac is also support. At least you need two logical core processor, and virtualization has to be enabled in your BIOS. If you don't know, you can go to your BIOS, basic input output system, and you can enable them. Okay, every laptop and every system has a different key to press and go to BIOS to enable virtualization. Minimum 4 GB RAM is required to run GNS3, and 1 GB space is required to install this application. But if you want to keep many images, then you need more storage. That's it. And you can install on any operating system. But I will not go in detail in this one, because this one is my target. Another simulation application is Vmware, Emulated Virtual Environment, next generation. And also the name suggests it's a next generation, is better than GNS3. Even though I like GNS3, but this one is used by professional all over the world. All community and everyone, mostly professional people, are using Vmware. And latest version is version 2. It's also free. By the way, there are two editions of this Eve. One is community edition and the other one is professional edition. Professional edition, they're gonna charge you to install, and you can get a license, two license, which you can install on two systems. But no need of professional edition. There is a slight difference between community edition and professional edition. And professional edition, you can plug and play even if the devices are on. But in community edition, you need to switch off to connect the devices. This is the major difference. I know there are other differences as well, like a Dockers and many other things, but I believe this is the major difference. You just need for best use, you need 16 GB RAM for Eve, even though it can be run on 4 GB as well, just like a GNS3. And there is no huge difference between GNS3 and Eve. The only thing is, if you configure them first time, so it will run smoothly. Not a GNS, like sometimes GNS3 will disconnect from VMware, sometime another issue, sometime Docker is not working, sometime cloud is not working. But in Eve, I notice you will never get any trouble. In community edition, you can run 63 nodes on the same time. That's the only second limitation of community edition. While in professional edition, you can run unlimited. But we don't need. Even up to CCIE level, you just need 63 nodes to run. Because we don't want to run all the devices on the same time. Okay, so we're gonna use Vmware, Emulated Virtual Environment Next Generation. That's the application. Now how you gonna install and use this application? Okay, I will share all the detail this file with you. So first time you need to download Vmware Community Edition. So I already give you a link from here. No need to search and go there. Just copy from this file. I will share this file. Okay, and here is Vmware. I'm already here, and this one you need OVF. Okay, and this one you can download from Google Drive, either you can from Mega. So click on this one, and here click and download. So I already download this one. This the thing, Community Edition OVA. Done. Second thing, you need client package. It's also required to open the devices. So again, I give you a link here. This is the second thing. So first I run this one, now this one, and you need to download this one. Click on here. It will take you to Google Drive. Okay, and this the client package. This one, where is? Okay, I did not download this one, by the way, because I already have installed. But anyway, let me download. Two things. So first you need Community Edition to download. Don't download Professional Edition because it will not work. It will ask you the what is called license. Okay, then client pack is required. In client pack there are many things. So this is the client pack. Download. Okay, let me download this one as well. Okay, done. Two things. Now another thing, you need switches and routers. So I already put switches and router in this Google Drive link. Okay, so when you open, you will get routers and switches. Okay, just right click on this one and click download. I make them a zip so you can download quickly. Yeah, so I already download this one, router and switches. Okay, done. Now you need a Winscp. It's a free application. Okay, so from this link you can download this free utility Winscp. I already download. Click and download. This is the Winscp. Okay, last thing, you need a Vmware Workstation. Okay, so this is the latest Vmware Workstation. Copy this link in your browser and download evaluation. This one, this is the window one. Click on this one and you can download this one from this link. Okay, then I give you the keys here. You can use any of these keys to make them register this evaluation version. It's not a free version, so it will work for a while, but if you put this key, it will be registered forever. Okay, now at the end I have give another link for all 200 images Google Drive. These are more than 200 GB images for Vmware. But you don't need all of these. Whenever we progress, so whenever you need any images, I will tell you to download. Like ASA firewall. This is the fully registered one. I'm using this one. ASA firewall, like big IP. If you need this one, no need of this one. IPS. And so many CSR router. Later in the course when we do programming section, so we will need this one. By the way, we will use this one. This is the best one, the EVRST. I don't know, Daniel and Eves. This is the best one, these two images. We will download this one later in the course, not right now. The thing which I need here, this is the firepower, and let me go down. I need one Linux Docker. Okay, IS is there. If you need in another course, we will need this, the Linux. Here is this one. Download Linux Tiny Core. It's a small Docker to run quickly. It not require a huge CPU and RAM, and it run in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes it will run, and it's like a window, you know, Docker. Even though there is a window as well. If you have much RAM, then no need. You can download window as well. At the end there is Windows 7 Lite, XP Lite, Windows 7, Windows 7, this one, Windows 10, Server 2000. You can use these. These are the, we're gonna use this one as well later in the course. Next is switches, K9. So this is the Docker. By the way, I already downloaded. Just download the same way. This is the Linux Tiny Core. Okay, these are the thing which we need. This is the direct link. If you want, you can do one more thing. There is, but I believe new student gonna be confused. There is torrent file up, is the same images in torrent file as well. So this is the torrent application. You can use TIXATI. You can download this one, and here is all the images. So I will check, and here I will go to QEMU, and this is the same thing which I show you in Google Drive. It's up to you. Some students like Google Drive link. They say I don't want to run and don't want to make myself in trouble to use torrent. So all these images and even plus updated version is in that link I will share you. But it's here as well. Look at the same thing is are here. Okay, at the last there is login detail for every device, login detail in this file. But anyway, I will share you separately, and on Google you can find as well. Okay, so now we have images, we have everything. Now how we can install Eve? Okay, so first you need to install Vmware Workstation. Unfortunately, I already installed, so I don't want to go in that one. It's easy. When you download Vmware Workstation, just click next, and finish it. And when it's finished, you can enter the key which I share there. Paste the key and it will become register. So if I go to Vmware Workstation, so it's licensed now and no expiration. That's it. So when you install Vmware Workstation, virtualization has to be enabled. Keep in mind, you will get this issue, new student especially. Old student already know. They go through this process. So when you run this one, click on file, go to open, and the thing which we download. So that is in download, and here this the Eve community OVA. Okay, so click on this one, open virtualization application, this one OVA, this the extension for virtualization. Okay, give them any name. So suppose I say Eve.com, and where you want to save, so you can set the location, import. Okay, so this is the first thing to install Eve. I will highly recommend to use VMware Workstation. Some students are using free version of VMware, which is VMware Player or something, but in VMware Player you will get many issue, and so it's better to use this VMware Workstation. Okay, so what I done, I went to file and then open that Eve, this one, Eve Community Edition. So okay, till that time let me unzip this switches. So you can use 7-zip is a free application, either WinZip. So let me extract this switches, and now router as well. I show you from where you need to download all these things. You can see all the stuff in one folder. And also let me unzip Tiny Core Linux as well. Okay, we will need this one as well. That's it. And let's go there. So it's almost done. Okay, so now it's come up. It will show you bridge. Don't use bridge one, because it will not connect, it will not get the IP from your Wi-Fi, either from your LAN. Mostly students get this issue. Now it's get 8 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB, complete your system 8 GB RAM, then make them less. But in my case, I have 16 GB RAM, so it's okay for me. But if you have fully, like here, you can find out if you go to this PC and right click here and check your RAM, you may already know. So I have 16 GB RAM in this laptop, so it's okay for me. But if you have 8 GB RAM installed, so what you can do, you can make them less. Processor, it's okay for me because I have many processor, so it's okay. If you want, you can make them less. Okay, so I make them 8 GB RAM, hard drive is 40. Now later in the course, because 40 GB RAM is nothing, if you want to install firepower and other stuff, You just need to add, don't increase this one. Otherwise, Eve will stop working. Just add a new one. That's it. Hard drive, next, 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 and choose this one. Store virtual disk as a single file, and whatever you want to give. Suppose 200. Either let me give them, I don't need this one, so anyway 100 GB. Next and add. That's it, and okay. So now you will see another hard drive. Eve is in Linux base, it will get automatically this hard drive. If you increase this one, it will not work. If you want to install many devices, so that's why I add. Otherwise, for routing and switching is enough this 40 GB. Now coming to this network adapter. Click on this network adapter and change them to NAT. Second one, change them to host only. If you follow my one, so you will not in trouble later in the course. So NAT, and this one is host only. It's okay. That's it. And now click power on. Okay. So now it will power on. Okay. One more thing which is enabled by default. But if it is not, you need to this one. Go to processor. This one has to be checked. Virtualize Intel CPU. It has to be tick mark, otherwise your devices will not work. It will not run, it will not start. So you need two virtualization, one in your BIOS, another one is here. Both are required, by the way. Okay, so it's come up now. It's get the IP from my NAT. It will show you here. Default is root, password is Eve. Okay, but first time you need to type root, which is mentioned, enter, and password is Eve. Now here type the same password, Eve. It will be easy for you. Again type Eve, EVE. Just enter. That's it. This is the first time configuration. So I type 2 times Eve and then enter. That's it. And it's configure. Eve is ready for you now. So let them restart. Okay. Emulated virtual environment, next generation. Eve. Okay. So now wait a minute. It's come up now. So here is showing you IP 192.168.114.156. Type this IP in any browser, but in HTTP, not HTTPS. HTTP 192.168.114.156. So now Eve is here. Type admin and password is Eve, EVE. There are difference. Here you need to log in root and Eve. Graphically you need to type admin and Eve and sign in. Never. And here click add new lab. Suppose CCNP Enterprise. I give them any name. No need of version and all those stuff. And save. That's it. And now we have an environment to test and lab and do everything. But unfortunately there is nothing. It supports many images. Look at. But none of the images available beside virtual PC. Because we need to upload these images now, because there is no switches, no router, no nothing. So you remember we download Winscp, this one. You need to install this Winscp. Either you can use SFTP as well. So accept, next. Okay. And install Winscp. And check this one and launch Winscp. Now I need IP address. So 192.168.114.156. Go to here, new, type that IP 192.168.114.156. Okay, it can copy from here as well, and it's mentioned here 192.168.114.156. Type that IP, port number is 22. This should be SFTP. Username is root, this one. And password we type the same, so Eve. Now save this one. Next time it will be easy for you. Give them any name, this IP, and also say save password. So it will be easy for you. Just click and it will open next time, because it's not important. And login. First time it will ask you to copy the key, public key. Yes. And now I enter to here, this one. Okay. So what you need to do, click on this folder. Now go to OPT, this is the folder name. Then go to Unit Lab. Then go to Adds On. So I am now here, OPT Unit Lab Adds On. This place is for routers, Dynamips routers. Click on Dynamips. And this side is, the left side is your system, this side is Eve. Now where is my images? So let's go to my images. My images are in download, then in compress folder. Here is. I just unzip these routers. It's here. So these are the router. I don't need this one, by the way. The last one is an old router. So just delete this one. So I have 72 router and 37, 36. Just select all these images. You will download the same router. You need to do the same thing and drag them to Dynamips. Okay. So now I have iOS routers. Enter operating system router, the normal router which we are using for lab purpose. Okay. So it will take some time to copy these images. Where I copy, OPT Unit Lab, okay, Adds On and Dynamips. Okay, done. Now click on this folder, go to IOL, go to bin. So now I am in OPT Unit Lab Adds On IOL bin. Up arrow and go to switches images now. Okay, no need of license. License is already there. I already prepared the license. There is a license application, but I already created, so you don't need to do anything. So there are best images as well, and also the good images. Just copy these images from switches folder and drag them to OPT Unit Lab Adds On IOL and bin. Okay. Some of them is layer 3 switches. This is layer 3, which is L3, and these are layer 2 and layer 3 both switches. IOL. What is IOL? Basically Cisco made these switches IOL for internal use, but as people are now using, so IOU switches. If you write here, okay, so IOL image is basically iOS on Unix. This is the abbreviation. iOS Enter Operating System on Unix. These switches is made in Unix operating system for test purpose. Cisco made these for internal use, but people, they make them out now. Everybody is using for their test purpose, and it's a good switches, by the way. So I copy these switches images here. Now let's go to up and go to QEMU. Most of the time you will drag the things here in QEMU. Only routers here, switches here, and this one is QEMU. There is a Linux tiny core. Let me click, so no need of this desktop icon. Drag this one, Linux tiny core. The folder name has to be the same, and drag them to QEMU. Last thing I need, fix permission command. Type fix permission Eve. So I will copy from internet. If you type this one, this is the command you need to type every time. Whenever you do any changes in Eve, you need to type this command. So now everything is copy. Go to here, type root EVE and go to edit, paste and enter. This is the command. I will share the command if you don't want to search them. So now everything is saved. Now let's go back to our Eve environment. Right click here. Now you will see routers with blue color, this one. So now I have a router. Let me give them a name router and save. This the router now, and start. And right click, go to node, okay, and go to IOL, and here switches, but change the name to switch. By default it show you router, so just change the name icon and also switch and save. Okay, and start. And also we install another Linux system, Docker, Linux Tiny Core. Okay, and if you want to change the icon, go to desktop, ABC desktop, this one. Okay, this is the Docker which we gonna use later in the course. It's easy to install and easy to run. Okay, now what else? You need to install one more thing which we download, this Eve client package. You need to install, otherwise these devices will not work. So click on this one, next. Okay, it will install Wireshark and also it will install this one. Okay, Ultra VNC. It's required to run firewall and those things, they require this. So that's why you need to install this client pack as well. And done. Now your Eve is ready for lab purpose. Okay, so let them install. This is the window client pack. If you are using Mac, so there is a Mac one as well. If you are using Linux, so there is a Linux base as well. So I don't know which operating system you have, and uncheck and finish. I don't need, by the way, Wireshark is already installed. Done. And now let's test it. So this is the Linux Docker to run quickly. This is the one. So it's now ready and you can use for test purpose. Okay, you can assign the IP from here, go to network, assign IP and use it. It's a Docker, quickly run, no need of window operating system. And router, click on router. Okay, in my case I'm using Secure CRT. I will show you how to install and integrate Secure CRT, but in your case it will open and put you. Okay, no, first time it will ask you to initial configuration of router, so I say no, and after that it will run. And now let's go to switch as well. Okay, so switch is ready. Enter and show VLAN brief. So everything is okay and it's working. In the case of router, this is the router and it's ready. So now you can test, you can connect them. Okay, so let me stop this one and stop this Docker. This is the way to connect them. Click on this one, but the device has to be stopped. You can connect. So they say interface, which interface you want to connect to switch, and which interface of router. So router is 0/0. If you make them, so it will show you here 0/1, and if you say 0/1 it will change them and save. So now I connect these two devices. If you want to connect here as well, so click on this one. So Linux is only one interface, E0, and switch is many. Which one you want to connect to? So make them 2 and it's connect. You can drag them and you can this. And here is node. So node are to whatever images you install. In our case we have only router and switches. The rest of them is grayed out, we cannot use them. And network, second one, when you right click, so there is a network. This is the first interface. Forget about bridge. Your interface is started from here. So management basically means this first interface. You remember when we install Eve, so we are using two interfaces. This is the first interface. So net is first. Here it will start from here, not from bridge. So management is net. Okay, let me give them net, the name. Okay, and what about the other one? Host only. So host only will become network and change them to cloud 1. This is the host only. Normally student confuse and these two cloud. So basically here is okay. And if I connect any device, So host only, what is the range of host only and net? Go to virtual network editor. So net is using 192.168.114. So you will connect this one. This one is right click, go to text 192.168.114.024 and save. So it will give you this range, while in host only is 145. Okay, right click on this, duplicate, and you can use them 145. So if you want to connect outside, so you have two options to connect to outside your laptop or whatever: net only and host only. First cloud one, which is management cloud, is net, and cloud one is host only. This is the way to recognize them easily. What else you need to know? That's it. If you want to connect them, yeah, that's it. So this was the way to install. Now close this one. Okay, what else? This the Eve installation and everything.